Isaac and Landon, we have no reason to be chatting right now, okay? We should not be chatting. All right, it says it's recording on your guys' screen, so I'm just gonna get started. Hopefully it's recording, okay? Hopefully. So hopefully you guys all thought about what Mrs. Kneifel said yesterday and how we all need to be more productive humans in reading class and start really doing our personal best, okay? Like, we need that. Hopefully, if you guys had time yesterday, you read out loud for like 5 seconds because reading out loud is good for you. Remember, you're supposed to read 20 minutes each day. So if you read 5 of those minutes out loud, that would be some extra time. Ava, try again. That would be just some extra time every week. So if you read 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and 5 of those, so that'd be 25 minutes a week that you were reading out loud. Any reading out loud is just going to be good for you. Okay. So take that to heart, actually do it. And today we're going to pretend like it's Monday and we're going to do vocab today. Woohoo. We only have a short read this week, which means we have a small amount of vocab words. So we are going to start going over those. Okay. Evan, can you invite Ava to the meet, please? Ava, Evan's about to send you a thing. All right. Anyways, our first word is one I feel like for the most part we've definitely heard before, okay? Our first word is contaminate. What does contaminate mean? If you would like to answer what you think contaminate means, raise your hand with the raise your hand button, please. Raise your hand with the raise your hand button if you think you know what contaminate means. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the raise your hand button. Landon, your hand is up. Can you please unmute yourself? Tell me what you think contaminate means. Landon Rebus? Are you going to go? That works, Mia. Landon Rebus, are you going to answer? You should be answering with your voice. Unmute yourself. Okay, well then we're moving on. Jacob Kozub, what do you think? What does contaminate mean, Jacob?
Infect.
Infect. Okay, that's a good way to put it. Olivia Raymer or Rayner, sorry. Olivia, why don't you try?
I think it means to kind of give something so it won't go bad.
Okay, so contaminate is a harmful thing. So I disagree with you, Olivia. All right, we're going to try one more answer, Evan. No one can hear you.
Contaminate is kind of like contagious, but kind of with chemicals, maybe.
Okay, so Evan said it's like contagious with maybe like chemicals, and that was pretty close. And Jacobs was close with infect as well. So to contaminate something is to add a harmful substance to it. So, for example, if Mrs. Kneifel was not necessarily spreading germs, but it's to contaminate something is to add something harmful to something. So if this is something, if Mrs. Kneifel was a criminal, okay? Pretend Mrs. Kneifel's a criminal. I'm not, but pretend I was. If I'm a criminal and I want to poison someone, maybe I will make them some scrambled eggs and I'll contaminate their scrambled eggs with some poison and I'll feed it to them. So I added the harmful substance poison to the scrambled eggs. Then the scrambled eggs became contaminated, okay? So to contaminate is when you add a harmful substance to something, okay? Contaminate. So you can also think of it as like germs. So for example, if say someone has COVID, I don't know anyone that has COVID right now, but pretend someone has COVID and they coughed all over your books. Okay, well your books would probably be contaminated now. The harmful COVID germs would have ended up on your book. Okay, so does everyone give me thumbs up if you think you know what contaminated means? Or contaminate, contaminated? Same things. Yeah, poor books. So that is what contaminate means. That's one we've probably all heard, even if we didn't know the exact definition. The next one is definitely a little bit more odd. The odds of you guys hearing this word so before this is probably slim to none, but it does have an easy definition. It's just a a fancy word. So this word is benevolent, and it is an adjective. It is a descriptive word. So a benevolent. You can describe a person or thing as benevolent. Anyone want to just give me a guess on what you think it means? You can totally, like I said, this is the odd ones. If you don't know, it is not a big deal. Presley, I see your hand is raised. Do you want to give it a try? Benevolent. Oh, you should put her hand down. Okay. We'll try someone else. Bryden Weaver, you want to give it a try? Bryden Weaver?
Like maybe it means like maybe spending time and having like a good time, I guess. I don't know.
So that picture could definitely be to it. That's a good guess. This picture may be a little bit helpful. We're gonna try one more. This is an adjective. Michaela Fries is gonna try for us. Then we will talk about it.
Kind or like well or something like that.
Yay! So a benevolent person or thing is kind. So good job, Michaela. You hit it right on the head. Okay, everyone, 5 seconds. Ava, go to Google Classroom. Go to Tuesday's live link. Press the link. Okay? Go to Google Classroom. Tuesday's live link. Press the link. Okay. Anyways, benevolent. A benevolent person or thing is kind. So instead of saying when someone's kind, from now on, let's start saying they're malevolent. Okay? You're benevolent. So, for example, you could say volunteering to plant trees is a benevolent act or a kind act. Or you could say, wow, they have a really benevolent smile, meaning a kind smile. So, like I said, that's a different word, but yeah, you should start using it. We're going to sound real smart if we use benevolent all the time. I like this word. I'm going to start using it. Someone remind me. I'm going to start using benevolent. Someone is not muted because I hear people typing. Okay, Bryden, mute yourself, please. And why are you typing? No one should be typing right now. Okay. All right. Moving on. Okay. Boys and girls, you should be muted. You should be muted. Okay. Thank you. All right. This word is imperial. I think that's how you pronounce it. First off, there's some lovely people saluting. This picture may be a little bit helpful. Let me double check and make sure I'm pronouncing the word right. Raise your hand. Oh, it's imperil. Sorry. It is imperil, and this is a verb. Imperil. Does anyone want to tell me what they think imperil means? Mia, I haven't heard from you today. Mia, what does imperil mean? Ava, bring me your computer right now. Mrs. Kneifel is not having it. Imperil. Mia.
Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Is it like brave or tough?
Kind of. I mean, if you're an imperil person, I would think you're brave or tough. So you're kind of on the right track. Who else haven't I heard from today? Dylan Kelly, you want to give it a try?
Does it mean dedicated?
If you're an imperil person, you probably are dedicated, but no, it does not mean dedicated. I'll try one. Who? Let's do one more try. Angelina, you want to try?
It means relating to an empire.
Not in the way we are going to be using it. It does not. So the word is imperil. So To imperil someone or something is to put it in danger. So here are soldiers, and they imperil their lives. They put it into danger. So they imperil their lives by doing things that put them in danger. Okay, so military men and women imperil their lives to protect our country. Does that make sense? That's another word that we definitely don't hear all the time, but it is imperil. It is a verb. It is to put someone or something in danger. Dun, da, 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 which obviously we don't want things to be endangered. So just for the record, right? Because peril means danger. Look at that, Ethan. A way to help us out. All right. Don't unmute yourselves. I'm trying to add someone to this meet real quick. Were you able to get on a meet link earlier? Were you able to join the statistics? Okay. So once again, Mia, imperil means to put someone or something in danger. The root word peril means danger. So once again, a sentence that goes with it would be military men and women imperil their lives to protect our country. That means they put their own lives in danger to protect our country. Okay? So we're putting ourselves in danger to protect our country. You're just going to have to pay attention. I do not understand. You're the only person who's not able to get in, ma'am. All right. So we have one more today. We only have 4 vocab words this week, so super short and sweet. But the next one, I think we probably all know what it is, okay? Dun, da, da, da. So I want to see your hands up. Endangered. This is an adjective. It's a descriptive word. What does endangered mean? I want to see lots of hands up. We should all know what endangered means. We've probably heard it lots. Remember, we're going to be talking about Project Earth. Things could be endangered. Landon, can you unmute yourself and tell us what endangered means?
Endangered means where there's an animal. Wait, is it working?
I don't know. Is it working? No. Unmute yourself, sir.
I am.
Not Landon Rebus. Landon Rebus is already in work. Not Landon Rebus.
My thing's working.
Okay, then fine. I'm just going to go to someone else. Please don't raise your hand unless you know that your microphone works, because that just wastes time. Let's try Rainier. Why don't you give it a try? What does endangered mean? I haven't heard from Rainier in a while.
Endangered means like endangered species.
So, endangered species is a type of species. That's how we were. Okay, so Ava, just close your computer if it's not going to work. Okay, and why don't you just look at me where I have the words and pay attention to me since you don't have a screen to look at. So an endangered species, that would be when we're using the adjective in front of the word species, but we need to actually know what endangered itself means, okay? So what does the actual word endangered mean? Who's someone that's actually going to work? Addison Bootcheck, why don't you try? Addison Bootcheck. Okay, if I'm calling on you and your hand is raised, you should be able to unmute yourself, friends. That's why I'm calling on you. Also, if I haven't called on you, you should not be putting it in the chat. Ethan Ort, why don't you try endangered?
Endangered means like about to go out, like the population of lynx is being hunted so much that it's about to die out and go extinct.
Okay, so to be endangered is to be at risk of great harm or death. So when we hear the word endangered, we automatically think of endangered species, like animals that there's maybe not a lot of them left. Like, I don't know of an endangered species off the top of my head. That doesn't matter. Don't care. I know. I'm glad you know one. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Anyway, so an endangered species, it just means the population's low and they might eventually die out and there won't be any of them. But endangered does not just have to be species like plants and animals. It could be a human. What if I'm endangered because I don't have a storm cellar and there's a tornado could be endangered driving if the roads are icy. Okay, so it doesn't have to be just a species that's going extinct or just a plant that's going extinct. It could also be just a simple situation where you are endangered. Okay, hopefully we don't get in those situations where we are endangered. But endangered is an adjective. You could say other things like, the street is endangered because of the ice. So it's at risk of, because we live in Indiana, we have so many potholes and stuff because our ground freezes and then it thaws, then it freezes, then it thaws, then it freezes, then it thaws. So it's at risk of getting harmed. So endangered. To be endangered is to be at great risk of harm or death. Okay. Okay, people are not going extinct, Angelina. I'm going to disagree with what you just said. People are not going extinct. There are billions of people in the world. But normally when we do think of endangered, we do think straight to animals or species, okay? So I'm sure you guys probably know of an endangered species. That's fabulous. So once again, let's go over all our words real quick, and then we are going to switch over to our prefix. Could we ever go extinct? Not in our lifetime, Mia. I do not think in our lifetime we will go extinct. Okay, I don't think that's going to happen. All right, the first word was contaminate. To contaminate something is to add a harmful substance to it. Remember, Mrs. Kneifel, if she was a criminal, I would poison someone via scrambled eggs, maybe. I won't, because I'm not a criminal, but I could. Benevolent is an adjective, remember? A benevolent person or thing is kind. Please stop typing about all the people in the world, okay? We're not talking about the world ending, okay? Right now, you're focusing on our vocab words. Imperil, to imperil someone or something is to put it in danger. So remember, military men and women imperil their lives to protect our country. So they put their lives in danger to protect us. Then we have endangered, which is an adjective descriptive word. To be endangered is to be at risk of great harm or death. Dun, 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 dun. Does anyone have any questions, not stories, not comments, about those 4 words? No? Yes? No? Okay. So you will, of course, have vocabulary homework tonight. It is not open yet, so don't go try to look for it. It doesn't open for a few minutes, but you will have vocabulary homework tonight. It is the same vocabulary homework as always, except Mrs. Kneifel was feeling real nice, and I only made you do 2 vocabulary words. Normally, I make you do 3 or 4. So you only have to do 2 of the 4 words for your vocabulary sentences. So that should be simple, and it is due by noon tomorrow. I also gave you extra time. I don't know why I said at noon, but hey, it's due at noon tomorrow, so hopefully that's good for you. Michaela, do you have a question? Hold on, Mia. What's your question?
Can we do more than 2?
You can always do more than 2. That's fine. Mia, what's your question? Okay. All right, so we have just 1 suffix this week. Just 1. That's it, just 1. All right, so our suffix this week, first off, tell me in the chat, where does the suffix go? Isaac, use the chat for school purposes, not for making faces. Ooh, suffix does not go anywhere, Mia. That's a root. I see lots of correct answers. A suffix, oh man, I'm seeing wrong answers. That makes me sad. A suffix goes at the end. Suffix is end. Prefixes start, roots could be anywhere. End. Suffix goes at the end. So our suffix this week is IVE, if. So I'm going to start my first word, and this one is massive. It ends in IVE. If you know a word that has IVE, you may type it in the chat. I will not be able to write them all down. If you know a word that has IVE, I will type it in the chat. Why don't you look at the board, ma'am? Survive. Thrive. Supportive. That's a good one. That's one that I had down. Supportive. Passive. influensive. Guys are getting some good words. Competitive. Remember, I can't write them all down. There's lots. Hypersensitive. Remember, we're doing this as a suffix. If you can't take it away or change it to a root word, then it's not the suffix. That's just how it's spelled. Hypertensive. I had also disruptive or attractive. Means you look good. Responsive, creative. I had excessive, defensive, narrative, reflective, subjective, effective, detective. Anyways, there's lots of, okay, I'm hearing myself in one of your guys' screens. All right, so by the way, just because I don't say your word out loud doesn't mean you need to keep on typing it. Okay, friends, let's use these words the correct way. So Isaac, I've now seen you say the same word 5 times. I already said I cannot say them all, okay? Yes, obviously we have so much. Massive, attractive, survive, thrive, hypertensive, disruptive, competitive, influensive, passive, supportive. So let's think. If I had the word supportive without IVE, it would just be support. With disruptive without the IVE, it would just be disrupt. Attractive without IVE, it'd just be attract. Okay? So, would anyone like to tell me what they think the suffix IVE means? Anyone? Don't put it in the chat. Raise your hand, okay? This means it has a meaning. Dylan, want to give it a try?
Does it mean full of?
Not quite. All right, this one's kind of hard, like the wording of it, so I'm writing it down. Okay. So, IVE means tending to or having the nature of. So, if I say defensive, that means that it has the nature of defense. If I say massive, that means tending to or having the nature of being a large mass, okay? Excessive, that means having the nature of too much, okay? So, suffix IVE means tending to or having the nature of. So this is our only suffix we're going to be learning for this week and next week, so we don't even have too many. So next week on our test, which would be next Friday, so a while from now, there will be a question about this suffix, IVE, and we'll review it again before then, okay? Thumbs up. IVE, tending to, having the nature of, okay? All right. So I'm going to, actually, no, I'm just going to talk. So not tomorrow you have a different assignment, but Thursday we're going to start reading our short read. No, IVE does not count, because if you took IVE away, there would literally be nothing left. We need a suffix. Remember, suffix is added to a root word. All right, so our short read this week, which we're going to start reading on Thursday, is called The Protective Power of Nature Preserves. First off, nature preserve. I need someone to tell me what the first word nature means. Raise your hand when the raise your hand chat, and don't type it in the chat, but raise your hand if you want to tell me what nature means. What does nature mean, friends? Gage, why don't you tell me, what does nature mean?
Maybe like outside, maybe like.
All right, someone add to what Gage said. Totally on the right track, Gage. Mark, why don't you add to what Gage said?
Is it like outdoors and like adventure-y kind of stuff?
Yeah, so nature is like anything around us. The trees, the grass, the sun, the flowers, the bugs, the butterflies, the animals, all that shenanigans. Nature is basically the outdoors, right? We could go walk outside the school and find some nature with the trees and the little bushes and all the grass. Well, the grass is covered in snow, but that's besides the point. So nature are the things around us. That nature is normally natural things. So nature, then in the next word is, well, the protective power of nature preserves. I need someone now to tell me, what does preserves mean? How do we put the word perspective? How do we put the word preserves in a, what does preserves mean? That's what I want to ask. Raise your hand if you want to tell me what preserves means. What does preserves mean? Nature preserves. The word is preserves, Michaela. Abigail, do you want to tell me what preserves mean? Abigail.
To save up.
Okay, to save up. I don't know if I would say to save up. Let's see if someone else can add to that. Isabella Hanlon, you want to try?
Maybe collects.
Okay. To preserve something is to keep it safe from harm or injury, to keep it alive, to keep it intact. Also, fun fact, you might have preserves in your fridge or in your pantry because you can like can tomatoes and stuff, and that would be called the preserve. But when we're talking about a nature preserve is a place that is like sacred or safe for the nature. In nature preserves, the point of them is to keep all the animals and plants that live there safe from injury and harm and destruction. It's to keep things alive and free and all types of, in nice nature. So if I go to nature preserve, just based off of what I just told you, do you think I can go to a nature preserve and cut down a tree? Shake your head, yes or no? No. Do you think I can go to a nature preserve and catch like 14 birds and bring them to my house? No. Nature preserves are places all around the United States and really all around probably the world. There are nature preserves that are made to keep certain plants or animals safe from harm. So tomorrow, that is what we are going to do. Not tomorrow, I lied. Tomorrow's e-learning. Thursday, we are going to learn all about nature preserves. And then remember, because this entire next 5 weeks is called Project Earth. So we're going to be learning all about Earth. Well, guess what? On Earth, there's nature preserves, a place to keep nature safe. So that is what we are going to be learning about on Thursday is nature preserves. And it's a good short little story. And some of you have probably been to nature preserves, actually, and you may not even realize it. So also, we're going to talk about some nature preserves in our area, okay? So I'm excited. Anyways, we are almost out of time. So shortly, your vocabulary homework will be opening up. Like I said, Evan, why are you leaving the meeting? I'm still working. Like I said, your vocabulary homework is the same vocabulary homework as always, except it's actually even shorter than normal because it's only 2 words instead of 3 or 4. So, but that means it's worth less points, which means you need to do your personal best, capital letters, punctuation, etc., etc. Now, tomorrow, I'm just letting you know in advance about your e-learning assignment. Your e-learning assignment is actually a little bit different than one you've done before. Your e-learning assignment is going to be 4 questions. That's it, 4 little questions. And each question is going to have one of the vocabulary words in it. And you're going to read the question and think of the vocabulary word and what the vocabulary word means. Then you're going to answer the question. So for example, I'm going to tell you, we're going to talk about the first one together. So tomorrow for your e-learning assignment, the first question is, what are ways that people can contaminate gardens? So the vocabulary word in question 1 is contaminate. So you're going to say, people can contaminate gardens by pouring, bad water into them or something like that. Or people can contaminate gardens by littering in them. Things of that nature, okay? So you're going to read the question with the vocabulary word in it tomorrow and then answer it. So obviously you have to answer in complete sentences. So tomorrow your assignment is to answer the 4 questions and to read for AR. I will be available all day tomorrow. So if once you actually get to the assignment tomorrow, you're confused, of course, just email me and I will help you out. Okay? Does anyone have any questions about what we've done today? Your vocabulary assignment should be open now, I think. At least it opened on some of them. Let me make sure vocabulary opened on everyone's. If you do not have any questions, you are free to leave me. And until lunch, you can work on your vocabulary assignment. Remember, only 2 sentences. You should probably be able to get it done. So, yeah. Okay, someone is not muted in my class. Mute yourself. I am going to make sure that they post right now, and we will. What is happening? Okay, you guys are free to go.
I'm muted because my Chromebook's
Bye, guys.
You can contaminate your
Boys and
phone.
girls, you should be muted. You are free to leave me. You can go work on your vocabulary assignment. I will not see you tomorrow because it is e-learning, but I will see you Thursday. Email me tomorrow if you need help. Bye-bye. This will be posted, of course. What's up? Quickly.